Good morning, everybody. Orin J here with another War of the Visions video, and today we're going to talk about Water Veritas and the upgrades to Wind Veritas coming to global this week. Now, I said this in my last video, but Water Veritas releasing this week is sort of a play, it's a loose translation of what's happening, I guess you could say. From what I understand, you're going to acquire the Water Veritas through playing Arena. So you'll play Arena, you'll get an additional reward next to your Arena medals that are the medals you can use to acquire and level up the Water Veritas. Similar to how we get Wind Veritas medals through playing the story, Water Veritas is going to be tied to Arena. Some people like that, some people don't like that. I'm all about just incentivizing the different game types here through releasing free UR 100 cost characters that are tied to them. That's great, in my opinion, so I'm happy to have her. She is coming this week with an upgrade to Wind Veritas, so we will talk about both of those things. In fact, let's go ahead and just start with the Wind Veritas upgrade. I'm going to switch this to the global version. Here's what we have access to right now. We have a Wind Veritas. Note that he just has one master ability. With this week, he will gain his Dream Enhancement, his 140. It'll give him 15% more HP, 20 critical evade, and an upgrade to his job level 25 skill. If we go look at that job level 25 skill, here it is, and here's what the upgrade's going to be. It's the same amount of uses, it's the same AP cost, but it gets a little longer in the description. That length is this. It will now reduce counter chance by 100 for 3 turns, so it turns off counter moves for targets, which is nice. And the modifier goes up from 165 to 200. So from a medium modifier to a large modifier in damage, it's a big upgrade to one of his bigger hitting skills. And again, this is a unit that I'm working on my new player account. As I'm progressing the story in the game, I'm acquiring his medals, and hopefully about the time my Wind team is ready to turn online, and maybe my Pierce team is, I will be finishing him up as we push through the game. So a nice upgrade to him. He continues to be trickled out into our game through his medals. And now we can talk about his friend, the Water Veritas, that is also coming to us. She has a 100 cost, her new job, Blade Soul, and White Mage. Now, unfortunately for White Mage, I'll just go ahead and spoil it. There's no full life there. That's the first thing I look at when I see White Mage. I'm like, really? We're gonna have full life on this unit? We are not going to have full life, but I do like the Blade Soul sub. She is a very interesting unit. She is going to be an aggressive support style unit. My new account, building into water, I'm going to be running Arena as hard as I can on a 10-day-old account this coming up week, which it'll be about 2 weeks old at that point to get access to this girl. Her accessory, Brilliant Azure, does not have the most, the stat line on it's not the best, right? Little bit of defense and spirit, some HP, 23 accuracy isn't bad, but the skill on it is particularly weak. Debuff effect weakening 25 for your allies. I don't think that's anything people are going to be super stoked about. So the TMR is a bit of a pass. The master ability, she's got the group buff, and then 15 AoE resist. If you're only going to get essentially a one-line master ability 1, making it AoE resistance, especially on a unit that is not only a support unit, but a support unit that I expect to be in the mix, AoE resist is a good thing for her. Okay, her skills. What is she bringing in this kit? Because it is pretty dang unique. Her new support ability, her first new one, is buff duration 1, debuff duration 1, and it nullifies sleep, poison, and stun for self. This is fine. Increasing your buffs and debuffs by 1 is whatever. Not getting status effects, yeah, those suck to get. But I don't know that many people will run this all the time. Instead, I think most people will focus on her second new support ability, which gives all of the great stats, right? Magic 24, Spirit 24, and Activation Time Down. Activation time down on mages is massive. You just want a ton of it, so there we go. And then magic and spirit gonna make her do more damage and be harder to kill. Knowledge of the magic sword is the other one I want to shout out right here, because this is from the Blade Soul subjob. It gives 12% agility, 40 spirit penetration, and 12 crit rate. So she's faster, she does more damage. Mix that with more magic, more spirit activation time. That looks like the most potent combo to me. If you just want straight up more magic, you can do Nullify Doom and Magic up 24%, but I think you'll see Power of Sacred Treasure and Knowledge of the Magic Sword in most scenarios. Her new counter move that she's bringing is a 30% chance to decrease water resist by 20% for the target, and heal for 120, or give us basically a medium heal to herself. So this is fine. It's like a self heal. You'll probably run this, I think, because the range is nice. Look, this is one of those things. I see people do this in PvE chaining teams where they will build a PvE chaining comp around proccing a reaction. I will never do that. I don't like, this is fine as a little side effect, but I feel like look, this is auto heal. That's what it is. That's really what you're running that for. So there you go. Okay, her new job. What are we getting out of this here? First of all, her basic attack is a striking attack that scales off of attack. She's not going to be using that very much. Her job is a mage job. In fact, she is staff devout job type. Her cheat move is a 141% modifier. She scales off of magic, dex, agility, and luck, and it has a chance of inflicting confusion on the target. So it's short range, but it can confuse. That's okay. The range here is short, and that's going to be kind of a theme for her. She does have some longer range moves, but I do anticipate this being a character that will end up getting up next to the enemy and mixing it up with some kind of like bruiser frontline friends. Okay, revival stream. This is definitely one of her go-to moves. It gives auto revive or re-raise to an ally and to herself while dropping her aggro by 5. The important thing here about dropping the aggro by 5 is at least she can take advantage of her AoE resist when she's in there moving towards the enemy, because even if she is standing next to King Elda, he has more hate than her, at least to start a fight, if she pops this buff. So they'll hit her with an AoE instead of a single target attack, which I see what they're going for there. Still, you're going to run this. Giving 2 people on your team re-raise is really OP. Okay, Calamity Splash. This is another single target attack, better range. You get range 4 on this one. It will decrease evasion by 40 for the target. 220% mod is big. That's a big modifier attack. It also dispels haste, drops the enemy's AP by 15, decreases all their attack resistance by 15%, and gives 200% chance for CT up for 3 turns for the target. Now, I think this is herself. I think she self-buffs herself with 200% chance to CT up for 3 times, but again, this reads like it gives that to the enemy, but I doubt it. It either gives it to her or a friendly target within range. If it is a friendly target within range, it completely fits her kit. And in fact, this move really feels like what this character is supposed to be, right? She's doing damage. She's helping your team by dropping their evade, dropping their AP, dispelling their haste, dropping their resist. Again, really enabling someone else on your team to crush them. And this CT up, whether it's for her or an ally, is a nice buff. Speaking of nice buffs, let's go to the next one. She has a shield, right? A magic damage shield, 50% for herself. It also increases all elemental resist by 20, defense by 30, and spirit plus 30 for herself and an ally. And this, again, I think is the other theme of this character. She's clearly meant with this buff here and this buff here to pair up with somebody like a young King Elda, and then she's gonna just be giving him these steroids. He's gonna be buffing. They're gonna be rolling into the fight together, harder to kill. She's debuffing the enemy, buffing him. He's really, at his full power now, and that's kind of the combo. Maybe you have like another support unit back behind. Maybe you have like your new Shadow Links back there, or you have a tank or another bruiser that's rolling into the fight, also taking advantage of these buffs. Either way, I think that's the way she's going to play out. Her other move, she has a move called Rapids that gives her both penetrations for 3 turns. It also has a little bit longer range than the rest of her kit. It's range 4, but that small AoE extends it to range 5. This gives her Spirit Pin 40, Magic Attack Resist Pin 40, and does 185% mod damage. The AI will probably use this because those penetrations will really up her damaging potential, and since the AI cares about damage so much, they're gonna like that. She has a diamond-shaped AoE with her job level 25 move. This decreases water resist 25% for the targets, 185% modifier, will cast another skill. Let's go look at that. That's gonna be right down here. Hey, guess what that skill is? Restore CT for an ally. So even more of that restore CT support that she can bring. Then it can also inflict poison or paralyze as another way of further debuffing the enemy. Her main job, Subjob, has 2 longer range moves, so if you're really wanting access to some long range, you have them right here. This is just not damage. This is Esunaga, so it dispels all status elements, in a big AoE from really far away, but just not something you see very much. And then she has another TP move that can inflict silence and confusion on the targets. This doesn't feel like a sub job that's getting used in PvP very much. Blade Soul, on the other hand, could be, because it gives her access to slashing damage type. Now, the buff here, I don't know that you're going to run slash attack critical hit rate buff with her, but you do have the boosted hit chance, Sword of Feudalism, which turns counter off, gives you that hit, drops her critical evade, hits it in AoE. That's nice. You have a bravery debuff, you have a dispelling move. This essentially just gives you access to another damage type. I feel like a lot of people will try to run White Mage. Now, this will depend on her AI. If her AI prioritizes healing, this is a double-edged knife, right? Because if her AI prioritizes healing and she's running in there bruising it up with somebody or trying to, and they're low HP, she's going to start healing them. The best sort of healing, in my opinion, is just killing the enemy. If they're dead, they don't hurt you. And if she's going to run in there being like an aggressive support, I think I might rather have her doing damage than healing. But it'll all depend on the way her AI works. And we won't know that till we get our hands on her and get to try her out for ourselves. So that's the new, I guess I say new, that's the new Veritas unit and the upgrade to the old Veritas unit. So that's the Veritas upgrade that's coming to global this week. Keep in mind, you're not going to see any high-level Veritases of Water in this game for a few weeks at least, if I understand the system to acquire her correctly. We'll look at that on the live stream on patch day, as long as my mouth isn't still numbed up and I can't feel my face. I'm having dental surgery in exactly 12 hours from the time I'm recording this. So when you're watching this video, I'm more than likely babbling incoherent nonsense under the effect of laughing gas as I sit in the dentist's office and they are jacking up my mouth. I'm not very excited about this. I hate going to the dentist, and probably why I didn't go for 20 years. And well, the chain effect is that's probably why I have to go tomorrow and get a big procedure done. It is what it is. Life comes at you fast sometimes. Okay. Hey, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great day. Good luck on your polls if you are polling tomorrow, and I hope to see you for the patch update video in the morning and the live stream in the afternoon. Peace.